So we know now that this is Ernest Jr., so Deborah has to be here. And then I think Nicole was their daughter. This is Nicole. So she was blonde, as a child at least. I mean, none of the women here is really blonde. The closest is Angie, and she has red hair. Or, no, these might be the twins. These might be Angie's children. That would actually make a lot of sense. I know Clark and Carl are not twins. Neither is Jim. Neither is Miracle. Gwendolyn, I believe, is already in a place. Yeah, Gwendolyn is already in place. Wait, there's another Gwendolyn. Is there? That's interesting. That should not be Angelica, then. This should be Angelica. So these two should be her children. But I'm not quite sure who her husband is. Oh, in childish print writing it says November. Because November is the child. That seems terribly obvious now that I think about it. So we still don't know who she is. We still don't have him correct. Or her, or him. So this must be Clark, then. That's a little bit odd, but okay. Okay, that has to be him. This might be Bonnie. But isn't Bonnie's... Yeah, Bonnie's last name is Hudson. Who in here is a Hudson? Guy Hudson. Okay, so she's the daughter of the guy that said, "Hey, next president, LOL." Or no, Christopher Hudson's probably her father. Guy Hudson is probably her brother. That would make sense. So there must be two. Why would they be Hudsons? So this has to be Christopher Hudson. Bonnie. Wait, no. These have to be her children. Because of this. Gwen and the boys. Okay, so this guy's got a film school badge on. So I assume he's some sort of like director. Not sure what he turned out to be. So this shouldn't be... So, Guy Hudson, he has to be on this row. Oh, wait. Let's look up Guy Hudson, actually. I wonder if he has anything. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So this tracks, technically. Okay, so he must be the third president. Married, but never had children. So if that's Bonnie, I'm just gonna go off of the assumption that this is Bonnie. I wonder if this is November. But I'm pretty sure Suzanne is November's daughter. So somebody had to have had a single child. Oh, Suzanne's not even on here. Okay, Gwyneth M. and Gwendolyn. And Caroline. So one of these three is just very upset. So I suspect Bonnie is a red herring, actually. Stephanie, that's her name. Okay. Okay, so let's look up Stephanie Jones. Candidate for City Council, won her campaign on Election Day about a month ago. No mention of the Roottrees. Be sure to read the full article in the Butler County Times. Okay. So, Stephanie Jones. Butler County Time. Okay. So the most recent mention of Stephanie Jones is a small report detailing the election results from last month's election. Stephanie apparently won her election. You also find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following. Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon until her marriage to local business owner Brian Jones, has lived in Butler County her whole life. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policies regarding the deforestation of indigenous trees to expand their maple farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love to the world. Okay, so Stephanie Landon, Caroline has to have been that artist woman. Caroline Morden. So that does actually match up. Okay. Nice. Okay. This is Stephanie. Politician is what she is. She married Brian Jones. Her mom had a partner. Okay, so we've got all of the presidents straightened out. Presidents. I'm very curious as to what else this guy could be. Clark Rafferty? Maybe... Maybe I'll just have to ignore him for now because nothing seems to be matching quite right. Okay, so let's see. We don't have all of this generation. Who is this? So is this person correct? So Morden. The last name of this person has to be Morden unless they are a woman. So this must be Gwendolyn. And Caroline was the mother of Gwendolyn, I'm pretty sure. But I'm not seeing a Caroline. So that's interesting. So Carolyn Morden, Mark Landon, Stephanie Landon. I think that's how that works. Let's look up Gwendolyn Morden and see if there is anything online about her. Oh, I probably should type the whole name, huh? Gwendolyn Morden. Gwendolyn Roottree. It seems like they're all trying to keep that last name, so I thought maybe. But no, doesn't look like it. Let's see, is there anything untouched here? Let me see. So we don't know that any of these are correct. We don't know their professions. We don't know anything about that. We have 9 left. So that's gonna be interesting. So whoever this is has to be a root tree. I do not know if they are a man or a woman though. So perhaps November? I'm not quite sure about that one. I know that these two are correct. I know we just need, I think, one more to get this looking good. Let's see if Nicole Madsen has anything. Nicole Madsen. No. Okay. Well, it was worth a try. Let's see. Guy Hudson. I don't know who he married. I believe I looked him up before, but let's try that again. Yeah, okay. Fancy flavors. So if this follows the same logic in that every first letter of the flavor is the name of a person from that generation, that might help a little bit. So, oh, no, because that wouldn't make sense. He only added 1. And who's Bonnie Hudson? Let's see. Okay, we don't have anything. I'm gonna look up the root tree curse again. Let's see. Guy's car was hit by a drunk driver in 1982. Interesting. I wasn't quite sure how he passed away, but So it was Guy, then Ernie, and then Carl. So that should be all of the presidents squared away. If you connect the dots in the pattern of a 5 pieces wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby skull. I don't know what that means. Chris Rafferty. Faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition. Okay, so Chris Rafferty is something that we can look up. However, let me look up 4 corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. Four-day time cubes. Okay. That was kind of a long shot. Okay, so let's see. Chris Rafferty, Thomas Overwood, and Operation RT-29. Let's look up Chris Rafferty. Interesting. So if we go back and just use this to look up, there is a Chris Rafferty. I don't know why I'm saying it that oddly, but I'm not sure if he is the child of Clark's second marriage or his third. Oh well, might as well try at least. Maybe this is Kim LaRue? I'm not quite sure. Oh, this... No, that doesn't make sense. Never mind. Wait. Did he marry one LaRue sister and then the other, and then these two are Rafferty LaRues? Because that would make sense. But that's insane. I mean, it would make sense, like, genealogically. And let's see if this is it. And is there any picture of Katrina Rafferty LaRue? Let's just look up Rafferty LaRue. Oh. Okay, a website all about Raffertoons. Clark Rafferty LaRue's advertising firm. He had an advertising firm. Oh. On it, there is an About page, and you find a picture labeled the inspiration for the famous Super Bowl ad campaign. Below that is more detail. Clark was in a department store getting a family portrait with his wife and children, and when his wife was trying to get his youngest, Katrina, to calm down for the picture, he had the idea for the Roottree Super Bowl ad. The photo is now in your evidence. Okay. Katrina is the youngest, and we can look at the Raffertoons. Oh, that's the extent of it. Okay. Okay, so this is correct. And that means he's actually in advertising. Shocking. Let's see what new evidence. Ah, new evidence. Lovely. Okay. Well, these might work. Cute kids. She does not look happy. So this and this. And is this Kim LaRue? Because these have to be LaRue's. This is correct. So we can't even move this if we tried. Okay, so how on earth do we distinguish these three fellows? We had the 5 pieces abbreviation for this generation. I'm just really not sure. Okay. Let's see. As seen in MMM, Peter Yanovitz. Ah, you can zoom in. Peter Yanowicz. MMM. Peter Yanovitz. I don't think that's quite right. Janowicz. Okay, let's look that up. He seems to be a music critic. You find him mentioned on a fan website about a band unrelated to the Roottrees who used to work for Modern Music Monthly before the magazine went under. Oh, okay, so this might be worth it. Okay. Let's try to search Modern Music Monthly and look up Raf. No, wait, who was that? That's Jim and Diamond. Okay. Jim, Roottree. There we go. A review and interview from 1979 titled A Reluctant Hitmaker. Jim goes into his first band. Until a few years ago, Diamond and I were in C&J plus J&D with my cousin and his ex. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. As a result, Clark and I grew up like brothers. Diamond and Jane, on the other hand, are actually sisters. So the four of us had sort of a cutesy family band thing going on. Not our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with their youngest sister, everything exploded. Poof, no more family band. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, but even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told Roland is like that, but that isn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh, but I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess, but he's a lot happier now. He started Raffertunes, and he's a much better jingle writer than a songwriter. One of the benefits of our famous family is a massive company willing to be a client. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. All of his old ad campaigns were hung on the walls over a record player, but I was never interested. I just went straight for the music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Interesting. So, his father was in advertising. This is a lot. Let's see. So, James's father was in advertising. This picture may be wrong, though. I'm not quite sure about that. Let's see if we... Oh, I didn't actually mean to do that. I wanted him to be right here and him to be right here. Well, this doesn't seem to be causing any dramatic realization, sadly, so let's see if this is him and this is him. No. Man, okay. I'm not quite sure, but I know he's in advertising now, at least. That is something. Ad campaigns were hung on the walls over the record player, but I was never interested. So if he wrote jingles, does that count as advertising, or does that count as songwriting? It doesn't look like songwriting is exactly an option, so guess it's not that. And let's see. I don't know if this is Kim LaRue. Let's see if we can look her up. Kim LaRue. Okay, no, that did not work. Let's see if I can look up Stephanie Cattrall. No. Okay, so that is not going to help us. Oh, there's 2 T's. Well, that still isn't going to help us, sadly. Let's see. What if I just look up Anderson Farms? Because that illegitimate branch of the family did take it over, so let's see. No, okay. It was Anderson, right? Yes, it was. Okay. So have we figured out where Ernie is? Yes, we have. So this is Deborah. This is Nicole. Let's see, is she just a student? Let's say she's a college student now. She should be looking at the time, I believe. So were these guys models? Because they do mention in the article about them not cooperating for the advertisement. So did I look up Wolf Roottree? I feel like I didn't. Wolf Roottree. Nothing. Okay, so this does mention a magazine called Teen Blast. So 5 pieces. And Teen Blast. Oh, okay. Teen Blast has played host to many Roottree advertisements over the years for many of their products, including 5 pieces. They flood the results. One of them was already in your evidence. Oh, darn it. Okay. So we didn't get any new evidence? That's unfortunate. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. Let's see. No Roottree has ever remarried. And Eli C was... Okay, so that... Wait. So that has to be Jim's father. Eli C? Okay. So that's correct. That has to be correct. I just am not sure about the pictures. What if I look up Wild Bill in Starlet? Wild Bill Wilson. Starlet. Oh. Wild Bill. Oh, okay. So they did. Wild Bill Williams was mentioned many times throughout the magazine's lifespan, with stories and gossip about who he had been seen with in public, blondes mostly. 3 specific passages stand out. The first mentions one of his first roles was under his real name, Walter Forsythe. That took way too long. Oh my goodness. The second is an interview. Although he doesn't mention her by name, you determine from context he's talking about Gwen Roottree. And apologies to all the ladies, I'm actually taken. Earlier this year, I did a friend a favor. He was directing a war movie and asked me to play a small part. Wouldn't you know it, that son of a bitch cut me from the picture. I'm just ribbing, it wasn't his fault. Apparently the studio didn't want to pay for a star of my caliber. I got the last laugh, though. I met someone. She spent most of the film crying. She was playing a soldier's wife. But even through the tears, she was incredible. I know I tend to have a reputation, but this one's true love. I only have eyes for her. Ironically, the third is a rumor that his divorce from Gwen was due to multiple affairs, including one with another actress. An American reader on vacation to Paris claims to have overheard Wild Bill and Gwen arguing in public while she was holding a baby and visibly pregnant. Not long after, Gwen announced she was divorcing Wild Bill and also that she was pregnant again to give this rumor more credibility. Okay, so Walter Forsyth. Okay. I am so happy we finally have that name. That took way too long. Okay. And so Gwen divorced Wild Bill, we've got that. Eli C. took care of Clark. Eli's marriage seems fine, and Jim's marriage seems solid as a rock, pun intended. I suspect he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out on the band. Without her, he'd be the third wheel. Oh, I guess so. Let's just go through this again and see if there is any additional insight. It looks like, although Sam and her children were not meant to receive monetary inheritance, he had a stipulation that she retain the rights to run the farm and any and all decisions related to it. None of the 5 pieces were surprised. Patricia Christensen. I didn't actually ask, or I didn't look her up, I don't believe. Patricia Christensen. Yeah, okay. Christensen Steel was a steel company in Butler County. On a World War II history page, you find that it contributed to the war effort by creating parts for vehicles, but after that it went out of business. Christensen Steel and Patricia Christensen both are mentioned in a book review for Steamy Correspondence by Tina Angelina. Interesting. Okay, so let's put that here, and Tina Angelina as the author name. Okay. Steamy.pdf. This is a book of historical letters with an erotic twist. Each letter is accompanied by context from the book's author. A letter from the book has been added to your pages. Okay. In 1934, someone who goes by Patch wrote a letter full of innuendo to an unknown gentleman who it is clear she had a romantic history with. Patch is thought by the book's author to have been Patricia Christensen, a daughter of the owner of Christensen Steel. Her nickname was Pat, and CH were the first 2 letters of her last name, and Patricia Christensen was known to appreciate wordplay like this. Patricia, who would have been in her mid-20s when the letter was written, was married to an older man of no notable status. This letter was most definitely not to him. There also were a few passages after the steamy bits that mention a daughter, leading Tina Angelina to theorize that this letter was written to the father of a child she hid from society in some way. The letter ends on a mention of a twisted twin that seems to evoke imagery from classic literature. If not for her story, yours and mine would be the most tragic tale ever told. How awful is it that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate, and worse, sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin. Left an outcast, forced to a life of labor under a wicked relative? It's like something from the start of a children's fable. She deserves not the life she has been sentenced to. I can't stand to be apart from you both. Someday I shall return to you, and I pray that he has not corrupted her to know his sins. I swear that on that joyous day, with all of the strength I can muster, I will fight for our child's freedom. Let us pray her fable has a happy ending. Tina has no theory for what the more cryptic parts of that mean. Okay. So, who had the affair? So, okay. So he did marry Patricia in the end? Oh, okay. Twisted twin. So his brother's twisted twin. What? How awful is it that such beauty was ripped from its rightful fate and were sent to live in possession of your brother's twisted twin? So who on earth is Patricia addressing this to? Your brother's twisted twin. None of that generation of the family has a twin, though. Unless they're saying that Clancy and Margolite are twins? Okay, let's go back to resuming reading the revisiting the diary portion. Okay, Sam was the illegitimate daughter of Elias Jr. and Patricia Christensen. And that is correct, correct? That's Elias Jr. Yes, okay. And Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. EC. So who's EC? So is EC the twisted twin? Very interesting. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning from day to day with Zach. Okay, so how are Sam and Ernie related then? So Ernie is he over here? Where is Ernie? Oh, there he is. Okay. Ernie is lucky to have her. Okay, that's because that's his mother. Okay, yeah, that clocks. Okay. Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. Gwyneth is also a farmer. That is correct. Okay. Sam's a spitting image of Patsy. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course, but I guess that skips the generations. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor, so I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. Was he gay? Is that the issue? Did I look up Samantha Roottree, actually? I don't remember that. Okay, no, that's not an option. Okay, there are 4 Elis. My brother, my uncle, my cousin, Uncle Junior, Miracle's Eli, or Eli C. Okay. His father and Grandma Gwyneth's father were named Edward and Clancy. One thing that's always been consistent is anytime someone's a junior, they're always the firstborn son. Miracle, Eli, and even Clancy. With the women, it goes all out the window. Elias's mother was Caroline? Elias's mother was Caroline. Okay. But which Elias? Who was Elias's mother? Caroline Roottree? Maybe I can look that up. No, sadly. Edward Clancy Roottree. Interesting. Why was it misspelt like that? Oh! Edward Clancy. EC. He's the farmhand. I have a feeling he was gay and they were just really angry about that. I have a feeling that EC and Mr. Miller were lovers and he was kicked out of the family tree for that reason. Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling that one of the names that's going to go here is Edward Clancy. Yes. Okay, so we've got that. That's nice. Okay. And this is about anger. Me and Pop walked home in town and she hugged him. Your Pop is my dad. She screamed it real loud in my ear. She was lying. So Clancy Jr. has to be in this position because he is a junior and the firstborn boy is always a junior. But I don't know what he does. Clancy Jr. Okay. Teen Blast. Teen Blast is a magazine aimed at teenage girls. Their website has a news section that offers condolences for the loss of the Roottree Sisters. Their fashion line was often covered by our magazine, and Raina Roottree first appeared on the cover on her 16th birthday. Okay. So let's look up Raina Roottree in Teen Blast. Raina was on the cover of Teen Blast when she was 16 and did an interview. We add the cover and the article to our evidence. Okay, Raina. Let's go and put this right here. Okay, so there's quite a bit in here. There's an article about Raina Roottree from 1994. The issue also mentions TMS and brother trouble. In an interview, Raina talks about her inspirations. One important thing I learned from an early age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. My grandpa was a college professor who taught lectures about history. He always told me that history was full of people from famous families who wasted their fame and fortune by taking it for granted. Instead, he told me I should go out and use my name to accomplish something. I think he made a practice that lecture a lot, because I have other people in my family that have also made the Roottree name famous for things beside candy. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my friends tell me they had to read in school. I took his advice, and now I work with my mom designing clothing. I help decide what colors and patterns I want to model, and she designs the clothes with a team of amazing men and women. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandpa Laura tells me that he was really proud of what we had managed to accomplish. Okay, Grandma Laura. Okay, so who is there? Oh, so he was a professor. Laura Carlson. Carlson. Haha, that's funny. Okay, so that has to be correct. And his older sister even wrote a book. And that is Laura. Yes. Okay. So this should be correct. Grandpa was a college professor. Okay. TMS. Who's TMS? I mean, I know that's who she married, but Thomas Sheridan. Did we ever look him up? Thomas Sheridan. Okay. I did not actually look him up. TMS is a common abbreviation for early 90s teen heartthrob Tommy Mark Sheridan. His first credited role as Thomas Sheridan was on a soap opera called Time Marches Onward. He skyrocketed to popularity after a starring role in the sitcom Brother Trouble. Since the end of Brother Trouble, he has often been on the cover of the tabloids for his supposed drug use, and more recently, his relationship with Raina Roottree. After a short engagement, they married in 1997 when she was only 19 and he was 23. Huh. Okay, let's look up Time Marches Onward and Brother Trouble. Time Marches onward. Okay. Dang, that's a lot. Okay. Oh. Fascinating as all of this is, none of this seems related to the root trees. Dang it. Okay, so we're going to type in Brother Trouble. And I'm going to look that up in a moment. Time Marches Onward is a soap opera. It was the first credited role for Tommy Mark Sheridan, who was only 7-year-old and still being credited as Thomas Sheridan at the time. According to your search, the show has been on the air for 22 years and is said to focus on 3 large families that own different ranches in the same town in Texas. TMS appeared as Carson in 53 episodes before his character went away to camp. A few episodes later, his parents learned of his off-screen death in a terrible whitewater rafting accident. After a 6-year absence, Carson returned, now with partial amnesia. He recalled that though he was saved from the river, the couple who found him were evil drug runners. They smuggled him across the Mexican border and sold him into child labor. After he managed to escape, he couldn't remember who he was. He eventually found his way home by following the address that his parents had written on the tag of his jacket. During this second run, Carson was played by an actor other than Tommy Mark Sheridan. The discrepancy was explained by covering his face in bandages and claiming that his work in the silver mines left him permanently disfigured and caused his voice to sound completely different. After a plastic surgery operation that happened amidst a hostage situation, the bandages were removed and the new actor played Carson for an additional 3 years, appearing in over 500 episodes. He was then killed, permanently this time, while saving his younger sister from drowning in a whitewater rafting accident that happened at the same river where his initial accident took place. Fascinating as all of this is, none of this seems to be related to the root trees. Now, Brother Trouble was a 1989 sitcom about 2 16-year-old brothers the same age, one adopted, played by TMS, and Dustin Christopher Baker. Their single mother, played by stand-up Penelope Tessa Green, often had to navigate her job as a magazine columnist, as well as the troubles that came with raising 2 boys who were extremely competitive in sports, academics, and even romantic pursuit of their next-door neighbor, Roxy. The showrunner was small-screen director Ron Roottree. Oh, Ron Roottree! Okay, let's highlight that. The show had strong ratings throughout the entirety of Season 1, rocketing both Sheridan and Baker to instant stardom, mostly amongst the teenage girl demographic. However, it was canceled in 1991, midway through the 2nd season, due to a significant drop-off in ratings. Okay, let's try to look up Ron Roottree. Hello, can we not? Ah. Okay, Ron Roottree is a small screen director and the head of RR Productions. Oh. Wait, RR is the one that committed a crime or something? He directed episodes of a few other shows before showrunning and creating a 1-season hit, Brother Trouble. The show was canceled partway through Season 2. Okay. So, Ron Roottree was most likely an uncle of the girls. So this had to be Ron Roottree. I believe. Director. So Ron Roottree is either here. Okay, let's look up RR Productions. Defunct production company responsible for Brother Trouble. You find a comment on a Usenet board stating that Brother Trouble ended up being an ironic name, considering the rumors about RR Productions, Ron, and Robbie Roottree. Robbie Roottree? Who's Robbie Roottree? Not much information about him. In a comment thread on a message board about television cliches, you find a thread called Why Was Brother Trouble Cancelled? One user speculates, I think it's because the writing really went downhill in Season 2. They actually had an episode where Roxy was addicted to sniffing markers. Another person replied, maybe it's due to the rumor about Robbie Roottree in Silver Screen magazine. Oh, okay. Robbie Roottree. Search periodicals. Silver screen. Silver Screen magazine. Is it just Silver Screen? Do I have to capitalize this? Ew, wait. Okay. Ronald Roottree, maybe? Okay. Let's look up RR Productions. No. Okay. Silver Screen Magazine. So maybe let's just look up Silver Screen Magazine. Did we mean Silver Screen Magazine? Okay, that is indeed different. So let's do this. A small rumors article from 1992 that claims that self-taught television screenwriter Robbie Roottree was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert in a French court of law. It seems he, again allegedly, embezzled from the company RR Productions to fuel a gambling habit that left him hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. He then fled to Paris, where he grew up, and then Silver Screen continues to insist this is all very much allegedly, assaulted an officer who came to question him. The article's author says that they were unable to get a statement from French authorities, but received information from an anonymous source and were able to confirm through public record that there was a trial involving a Robert Roottree around the time that Brother Trouble was canceled. Okay. So, Ronald Roottree is a director. Robert. Wait. Robert. That should be correct. Or I might have the pictures backwards, actually. Okay. Maybe this. Robert. And... wait, they did say he was a screenwriter. Not a director. He's one of these. So this has to be Ronald Roottree, director. I don't know how we're going to get a picture of him. So this guy has to be one of Gwen's children because they did grow up in... oh, geez, cannot think of the name. France. Good lord. Okay. Let's see. So where is that picture of... yes. Film school. So he is the one that has... that is like this. Oh. Wait. This might be it. They might be RR Productions together. Okay. Ronald Roottree. Robert. Ah, okay, same article. Robert. Okay, no, that doesn't come up with anything. Ronald. RR Productions. RR Productions, Ron and Robbie Roottree. Okay, what about Ron Roottree? Okay, he's a small screen director. Okay, nothing new. Okay, Tommy Mark Sheridan. We didn't actually ever look this guy up. Okay, Dustin Christopher Baker. Let's see. Often abbreviated DCB by his teenage fans. Since leaving Brother Trouble, he has appeared in a few straight to VHS movies that adapt classic literature to a family audience with minor success. The most popular of which was Jane Eyre, which reimagined the Charlotte Bronte novel as a high school romance with a focus on skateboarding. He doesn't seem to be associated with the Rootrees. Okay. Let us try this one next then. Ah, Joke-o'-lantern. Penelope Tessa Green is a retired comedian. There is a result for the Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno that claims Penelope got her stand-up start and first did her famously raunchy breast milk cheese routine in the 80s before she was a TV star on Brother Trouble. The site claims she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances for fundraisers, doing more family-friendly materials. You find a picture labeled Joke-o'-lantern, as well as a different picture labeled Jack watching one of his mother's charity sets. Both have been added into evidence. Okay, so Penelope Tessa Green, the Laugh Lounge. Okay, that is the same thing. Okay. Where are these new items? Okay. It's titled Joke-o'-lantern and is taken during one of her fundraisers. I don't know who this is. Jack watching one of his mother's early charity sets. Okay. Penelope something Green? Like, do we even have that name, actually? We do! Okay. So I'm just going to go back through... This is all the evidence? Yes, all of the evidence. We're gonna go back through this. Oh my god, that has 9 undiscovered items? Jesus, okay. Oh! Butler County Times. CM. So, okay, Butler County Times, periodicals. Oh. Butler. Stephanie. Oh gosh, what was her full name? Jones. Okay. Stephanie apparently won her election. You can find the full version of the newspaper clipping on the back of the campaign mailer. While most of it is unimportant, you do find the following. Born Stephanie Landon, has lived in Butler County her whole life. So who's CM? CM must be her father. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Okay, so Stephanie's mother might have been gay. Though she is a distant cousin of the Rootrees, her mother, Caroline, a local artist, has often come out opposed to the corporation's policy. Okay. Stephanie Landon. Okay, you know what? Let's just look up a lot of these things. Stephanie Landon. Actually, let me first copy this. Or highlight it, excuse me. Let's look up Stephanie Landon. Okay. No. Stephanie Jones. The full article in the Butler County Times. So this is the Butler County Times and Stephanie Jones. Local business owner Brian Jones. So let's look up Brian Jones. A famous athlete. Okay. Oh, what about if I search Brian Jones here? So Stephanie does not, or is not connected to her father. Ah, Carolyn Morden and Stephanie. So Mark Landon was her father. And her mother's partner. I don't know who her mother's partner was, so we're gonna have to look up Carolyn Morden. Oh, darn. Carolyn, who has appeared on the front page of the Butler County Times in the past. Okay, so let's look up Brian first. Oh, dear. There are many advertisements over the years, as well as a small article from 1995 about Jones' graphic and print. The article is a piece about Brian Jones taking over his father's print company after 20 years. Brian seems to have not let it go to waste as a marketing opportunity during an interview portion. I've been in and out of that shop my whole life. My father taught me everything there is to know when it came to getting the job done right and getting it done quick. We've been a printing staple of Butler County for years now, and even the Butler County Times uses us for their coupon pages a few times a year. Thanks, by the way. But still, whether you're a new client or one of our regulars, nothing will change. Come on down for the best prices on bulk printing anywhere in the state of Pennsylvania, or search for us online. I designed the website myself. So, Jones Graphic and Print. Okay. The website seems fancy. It even has frames. Okay, so the website lists the address, hours, and a few examples of clients and the type of work that was done for each. Stephanie Jones Campaign, mailers. Roottree Candy Company, various banners and posters. Okay. Butler County, Holiday Light Post Banners, Miracle Network, Tour Flyers, Roottree Motors, Coupon Flyers, Butler County School District, various banners and posters, Butler Summer Theater, posters and set contributions for Children of Eden. At the bottom it says we also do web design. Come on in to get a quote today. Okay. So this is Brian Jones, Stephanie Landon, Carolyn Morden. So let's go to Carolyn Morden. The Atlanta statue. You find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Carolyn Morden. There isn't much about Carolyn as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. Accompanying the story, there is an image of Caroline standing beside a large metal sculpture of a mermaid. It's captioned, Caroline standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden. This sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait, Art and the Beauty of Women. According to a quote further down, Atlantis' burden is meant to symbolize a society split by indecision over whether women should be equals or something to protect. The picture on the front page has been added to your evidence. Okay, Carolyn Morden. Alright. Love her style, love her style. Okay. So, Carolyn Morden. And her book was this. Carolyn. Okay, dedicated to Eloise and Stephanie. So, her partner's name is Eloise. Yeah. Mostly black and white pictures of Carolyn's art. The centerpiece is a series of full-color nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have not been added to your evidence. In the intro, Caroline talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation, and in her late teens, she felt betrayed when her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson, who she calls completely bogus. Their marriages led her to double down on her passions, art and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. Okay, so Gwendolyn and Bonnie had aspirations, and they gave it up to marry boring men. So Bonnie is a cousin. That is Bonnie. Okay. I don't think, did I? Oh, there's more. She comes out strongly against the Roottree Company's effect on the local environment and rues how she was not able to convince her father Zach to make changes to policy. She also explains that her marriage to Mark led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative, and that the only good thing he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art and the beauty of women. Well, quite literally. But who was Mark Landon again? Why is he so contentious? Roottree Motors. Okay. Butler Summer Theater. Butler County School. This is just a lot to look up. Oh my gosh. Butler County. Did I ever look up the Roottree Candy Company just as a whole? Let's try Roottree Motors. You find a hit for Roottree Motors on the Jones Graphic and Print website, which you've already seen. You can't find any trace of them on the internet. As a local business, they may be featured in other places. Okay, so maybe periodicals in the Butler County Times. Let's look up Roottree Motors. There's an ad for Roottree Motors in the paper. It seems Roottree Motors used to be called Wilkins Motors. An ad for Roottree Motors has run in every week's Butler County Times for many years, but recently has been changed to include a picture. 3 different unique versions of the ad have been added to your evidence. Okay, it used to be called Wilkins Motors. Let's see. Okay. Is there anything like this? Though why the name would have changed might be relevant. Okay. New items. Okay, cool. A Roottree Motors ad that ran from 1974 to 1977 advertises that the former name of Roottree Motors was Wilkins Motors. Wilkins Motors is still the same family business, but has joined the Roottree family. I don't know how I feel about that. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that the guy that owns this is him. He's a mechanic. So Wilkins is probably who he married. Okay. A Roottree Motors ad that ran from 1977 to 1995. Roottree Motors are the local family mechanic. Your local family mechanics for 50 years, Tessa Roottree, our newest fixer, learned all there is to know about cars from her Roottree Motors parents. Funny noises, need new oils? Come on down, we'll fix her up. A Roottree Motors ad that is presently running, first appeared in 1996. Says the Roottree Motors has been around for around 50 years, is a family business, and also that Tessa Roottree, their newest fixer, learned all there is to know about cars from her Roottree Motors parents. Okay, so no, this is Tessa. And she is also a mechanic. Oh wait, I didn't clip that. I need this. Okay. Yes! We got it! That was so ridiculously hard for me for some reason. This one was really difficult. Oh my gosh. So I got a ton of extras that don't actually count. Oh my goodness.